So, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Tushita. We are indeed very honored and privileged to have with us Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul again. Geshe, thank you so much for accepting to come and teach here so graciously. We are always waiting for this. I think you're coming here after 1 year now. So, just a brief introduction. I would like to give regarding Geshe Dorji Damdul, even though he doesn't need an introduction. Venerable Geshe Dorji Damdul is currently the director of Tibet House, New Delhi, the cultural center of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. While being assigned with the responsibility of the directorship of Tibet House, he also gives regular lectures and leads philosophy classes in Tibet House and other places as well. He travels widely within India and abroad to teach Buddhist philosophy, psychology, logic, and practice. He has also worked on several books. As assigned by Office of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, he visited US in 2008 to work with Professor Paul Ekman on His Holiness the Dalai Lama's book Ethics for a New Millennium, Part 2, and the book series Art of Happiness, which were jointly written by His Holiness the Dalai Lama, such as The Graded Path. He has written a number of papers for national and international conferences on topics such as the paradox of the brain and mind and ultimate reality according to Arya Nagarjuna. He is currently in the process of writing two important books, one entitled Journey into the Paradox of Brain and Mind, and the other, What Constitutes the Ultimate Reality? Effects of understanding the ultimate reality. So today Geshe is going to give us a teaching on the mechanisms of karma. I think it's a very complex subject, and we are waiting for Geshe to illuminate us. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Professor Drenagaji. And it is always a great joy. Delhi, we have the Tushita Center here, and then the Venerable Kabirji, he will debate with me. That I feel always so happy that he's around. Number one, he has such a magnet, such a charisma, such a feeling of love and affection towards others, and he'll be very angry if I elaborate on this. So we're very fortunate in a way. And to be very honest, these people working for the community and self-esteem. This is something so precious. And Professor Drenagaji, for the last 20 years, 26 years, being able to make sure that the center is functional. The center serves a purpose to benefit so many people. So this is something so inspiring. So Tibet House is on one side, and Tushita is on the other side, and Tushita from here, people come to Tibet House, and Tibet House, then we say that Tushita is there. So these are like, let's say, the two brothers or the sisters. Is always very healing to see that they're there to support each other, help each other. Okay. Without much ado, I like to just quickly give say what we're going to do today. First, we'll do a little meditation, a single-pointed meditation, number one. Then number two, we'll talk about the karma and the mechanism of the karma and the relevance to our life. What if you don't say conceptualize this concept well? What could be the negative consequences, and by having a good glimpse of what karma is, how it operates, and the benefit. So this is what I like to wish. And then in the end, if time permits, I will invite questions. And questions, don't confine yourself to, say like the question related to what we discuss here. Of course, if you have questions related to this topic, well good. Otherwise, the way the Professor Nagaji said, that this is a huge topic, a very complex topic. You can bring anecdotes, you can bring say the mechanisms, you can bring say the explanation of the workings of the karma, not necessarily from the karma angle, but from the neuroscience angle, and from the conventional science, conventional say environmental science, or whatever. So you can bring from these, and we can have more discussions. Why I'm saying this, the question answer part is very important, is because that the Tibet House, we started with the Nalanda Master Course and Nalanda Diploma Course, are two very, I would say, very helpful, very beneficial courses, and so we see that internationally there are people all over doing this course. And the overall speaking, whenever I travel to places and then meeting with, say, we giving classes, giving teachings, and then question answers. So those people who give very sensible answers all over the world, I discovered that they're mostly the ones who are doing another master's course and another diploma course. So yet I see that there are still questions, nuanced questions coming from them, some of them who do not really feel that some of the topics which we discuss do not resonate with the basic thinking. So these questions are coming up. So the point is that according to the Nalanda tradition, these questions are so pertinent and so important. In other words, it doesn't mean that I should have all the answers. You come up with questions, and all the people here, including myself, we reap the benefit of listening to your questions, but particularly if the question is something very serious, this can be like the trigger for the further development in your knowledge, in your experiences, and so forth. So, in other words, I would be happy to invite questions in the end. Okay, first part, meditation. Okay, just raise your hands those who have some experience with meditation, or those who know how to do meditation. Raise your hands. Those who know how to do meditation. Okay, raise your hands those who have no clue how to do meditation. I've never done meditation in my life. Raise your hands. Okay. So what we're going to do here is this simple meditation, and I'll say that there are two things. One is something is better than nothing, and there's another thing, nothing is better than something. For the meditation, it belongs to the kind when nothing is better than something. Why I'm saying this? Because if you do it without a proper instruction, it can be very dangerous. So, you have to make sure that when you do a meditation, you do it with a proper instruction. This is extremely important. Why I'm saying this is that one time I met a gentleman. And he said that I've been doing meditation for the last 3 years. Simply because the person said that I've been meditating for the last 3 years, I've got a feeling, I have a very high expectation from that person. And then over time, he became very close. Then what he said was that nowadays in my meditation, things are coming up in my meditation. And it really shocked me. What kind of meditation are you doing? Then who taught you this meditation? He said, nobody taught me. Then how did you do it? Then he said that once he was, going at the base of Himalaya, they camped, and he met with some tourists, adventurers. And one American adventurer told him that you should meditate. Then, okay, I see, meditation is very important. Then he started just keeping his eyes closed and sitting like this. This is what he's been doing for the last 3 years. Then I said, no, never ever do like this. If you want to do meditation, you must do it with a proper instruction. Okay, so for this matter, we're going to do 5 minutes meditation. Meanwhile, I'm going to give you a quick instruction. And those of you who are already doing some form of meditation, standard meditation, you can do that. Otherwise, just listen to this and see if you can follow these instructions. 4 things to keep in mind. In the first place, this clarification is so important. Meditation. The very purpose of meditation is to bring about transformation in one's own mind, to bring about transformation in one's own mind, and like the gold when mixed with the soil, you don't see the presence of the gold there, while the nature of the gold is to glow. But you don't see anything glowing, it's just soil there. Ordinary people will dump this, but the gold experts will not dump this. For them, this is gold. How will they convince us there's a gold there? How will they convince us that there's a gold there? They will remove the soil. As they remove the soil more, the gold inside will start to glow. So the purpose of meditation for us is to discover your goal inside. Each one of us, we have a goal. It doesn't matter whether you're a Buddhist or not Buddhist, whether boy or girl, it doesn't matter. Or whether you're rich or poor, educated or uneducated, it doesn't matter. We all have this goal within us. This is not just a metaphorical. This is not just the story. It's not just the doctrine. This is the reality. Each one of us, we have the goal, the treasure of ultimate happiness. This is reality. So the meditation is to separate this treasure from this mental dirt, remove the mental dirt, and let this treasure come out. That's the purpose. For that matter, we need 2 things. This meditation encompasses 2 things. One is that this treasure is obscured by the mental defilements. So in Dham, we don't see the beautiful tangas. We don't see this beautiful hall in dark. So it doesn't mean, simply because we do not see these, doesn't mean that they don't exist. They do exist, but we are blinded of the vision of this beautiful place because of the darkness. So how to get into the darkness? You don't need to do anything to bring these beautiful tangas. You simply remove the darkness, and these tangas will become visible to you. You will see the treasure of this beautiful tanga. So for that matter, we need the light to dispel this darkness. Just as the light is required to dispel the darkness of conventional darkness, likewise we need to have the light of the wisdom to dispel the darkness of the ignorance within us. So this light of the wisdom has to be cultivated. So the cultivation of this light of the wisdom is known as meditation. For that matter, this cultivation of the wisdom has 2 facets. One is the wisdom in the form of the light, the brightness of the light. Number one, the light should be very bright. The the brightness of the light. Number two, even though you have a light, very bright light, but if this flame of the light, the flame of the candle is very flickery, it doesn't serve the purpose for you to appreciate the nuances and the subtleties of these paintings. So you need to have the steadiness of this light, two qualities. So cultivation of this wisdom has two facets. One to cultivate the sharpness of the light of the wisdom, and the other to cultivate the steadiness of the light of the wisdom too. So the cultivation of the steadiness of the wisdom, that is known as the single-pointed meditation. And the cultivation of the sharpness of this wisdom is known as the analytical meditation. So the meditation, for the reason that we need to cultivate this light of the wisdom, we need to have the two forms of meditation. One is single-pointed meditation to cultivate the steadiness, and the analytical meditation to sharpen our intelligence. And never ever think that okay, what he's talking about is very complicated, particularly today. Luckily, it's not about it. Okay, it's not really luckily. The emptiness concept is quite complicated, complex, and then the first timers, people who are beginners in this concept, you may easily slide down nihilism, or you may get lost here. So therefore, the point is that this is not really for me. In fact, okay, let me not digress too much. Okay, so the point is that the cultivation of wisdom, that is one part, and the sharpness of the wisdom, and simply because that you are not from the background of physics, mathematics, or economics, and so forth. Don't think that I am not a bright person, so this is not for me. Never ever underestimate your potential. Even though you may identify yourself as below average in terms of the scientific thinking, in terms of critical thinking, even if this is your impression of yourself, but keep in mind that each one of us, there's a reason why some of us we have more, say, sharp critical thinking, and others less sharp critical thinking. Less sharp critical thinking because of some factors. We change those factors, you become sharper, you become more intelligent. If the intelligence can be cultivated, in other words, everybody can become like Albert Einstein. Guaranteed. It's a matter of you not underestimating potential, and then resort to the proper factors, to the correct factors, and you will get there. Your intelligence will be sharpened, and then you will be fascinated to see that I'm very different. I'm not like what I was before. Okay, so for that matter, the single-pointed meditation, which is so important, and then the karma is more to do with the analytical meditation. Okay, for the single-pointed meditation, 4 points you keep in mind. One is body posture. Body posture. Then number 2 is focal point. What are you going to meditate on? Number 2. Number 3 is identifying the errors of meditation. Number 4, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. 4 points to keep in mind. Number 1, the body posture. This is so important. Body posture. Say one is the apostle cross-legged. If possible, cross-legged, when your left foot should go on your right leg, and the right foot should go on your left leg. This is the one thing that we keep in mind. And then what is so important is that your body should be upright. Body should be upright. And if it is the habit for you to sit like this, this is not really a good habit. Always try to change this habit to learn how to sit upright. Your spine, gradually, you'll see that your spine will be upright. This is very important. And this will help us to maintain a very sharp flow of the energy within your body, and because of which the mind will be very fresh and alert. This is one point. And the next one is the head tilted forward a little bit, And then the next extremely important point to keep in mind is to keep your eyes not closed, eyes half open, 45 degrees cast down. This is so good. Never do meditation with eyes closed. And say, okay, it's very dangerous if you do meditation with eyes closed. And those of you who have been doing meditation with eyes closed for more than like 3 years, okay, I cannot do as much for you, right? In which case, I would suggest you to practice both. Those of you who are yet to build this habit of doing meditation with eyes closed for more than 3 years, I would suggest you to try to with the eyes open. There's a great purpose there. Okay. And meanwhile, with the eyes open, the first question that comes to our mind is that then I'm not meditating, I'm constantly seeing what is in front of me. That's true. This is the challenge. When your eye consciousness are not going to meditate empty, not going to meditate. Meditation must be done by your mental consciousness, not by your eye consciousness. Eye consciousness just half open, 45 degrees cast down and ignore. That's it. The mental consciousness is going to meditate. So the segregation. Eye consciousness and the mental consciousness, separation of this, we have to acquire that skill to separate the eye consciousness and the mental consciousness. If you do meditation with eyes closed all the time, you will never learn the skill to separate the mental consciousness and the eye consciousness. If you learn the skill, the benefit is that even if you are amidst a crowd, your eyes are wide open, but you are not actually looking at the crowd, you are meditating. Because your eye consciousness, you can separate the mental consciousness from the eye consciousness. Although eye consciousness is cast on the people there in the crowd, but your mind can be meditating. Just like this, eyes wide open, still my mind can be meditating. Okay, this is a skill that you require. Whereas if you do the meditation with only eyes closed, the moment you keep your eyes open, your mental consciousness before the eye consciousness, you cannot meditate. Okay. Then the rest is fine. To keep it very technical, the tip of the tongue should touch the upper palate to avoid excessive accumulation of saliva in the mouth, and then breathe naturally. Don't force a breath, don't control a breath. And then your teeth and lips, keep them in their natural course. Right hand on the left hand, and the tips of the two thumbs join, forming a triangle. Place the two hands on the laps in a restful state. Okay, this is your body posture. Number two, what are you going to meditate now? Focal point. What are you going to meditate? For that matter, two things. One, just count your breath. Just count your breath. Focus on the breath. Don't follow the breath. Focus on your breath. Don't follow the breath. It doesn't mean that the other meditations where you have to follow the breath, they're wrong. It's not true. Both are correct. But what I'm teaching you here is a very simple one. Don't follow the breath. Simply focus on the breath. Focus on the breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. This cycle one. Again. Breathe in. Breathe out. Cycle two. This is what we're going to do for 5 minutes. Okay. If you're more competent, if you want to take this as a challenge, then you can expand on this focal point, multitasking. While you focus mind on the breath, you also visualize a tiny white dot, 1 mm or 2 mm in diameter between the nose and the upper lip. Between these two spots, you visualize the tiny dot there. So visualizing tiny dot there, and plus focus on the breath. These two things happening simultaneously. Okay. This is your focal point. Number three. Identify the errors of meditation. What errors can potentially happen? What errors are happening? Can potentially happen if you're meditating. 2 errors. So number 3 and number 4, these two are exceptionally very important. Number 3 and number 4. Number three is identify the errors of meditation. Two errors can happen. One is mental excitement and the other one is mental laxity. Mental excitement and mental laxity. Mental excitement is mental scattering and mental laxity is where your mind feels heavy, lethargic, inserviceable, sinking. These two are the two mental the mistakes or the errors of meditation. How to solve these problems? Number four, applying the remedies to overcome the errors. Two, introspection and mindfulness. Introspection is like if you have your pet dog, you lost a pet dog. What do you do? First you go and search a pet dog. Your mind, instead of meditating, you lost what your mind is doing. So your job is to look for what your mind, to see what your mind is doing. That is introspection. Once you see a pet dog, once you find a pet dog, the job of the introspection is done. Next, the job is the job of the rope. Tie the dog with the rope, bring it home, and tie it to the pillar at home. Likewise, when you find your mind distracted or in a lax state, then the job of the introspection is done. Next is the job of mindfulness. Like the rope, bring the mind back to the intended object of meditation. Okay, so these are 4 points that we need to keep in mind. 5 minutes. Ready? Today is in the karma and mechanism of karma. It is relevant, the thought of which, how that's relevant to our the day-to-day practice and to heal our the mental pain, agony, and so forth. If we go back to your own life, if we reflect on your life, say, I'm sure there's nobody who is in your teenage, anybody? No one. Okay, which means that we have some experience, like 20 years of life experience, minimum. Okay, minimum 20, 30, 40, 50 years of life experience. And if you go back in time in terms of your the life experiences, then you will see that so many things happen in your life. I'm 51 now. In my life, I could recall so many things that happened in my life. Likewise, each one of us, we have our own stories. Believe it or not, all that we experience with your physical health or ill health, your physical body size, complexion, then your relationship, your family, the place you're born, the house, Delhi pollution, and last night's Delhi cool weather, beautiful weather, and the benefit of being near the airport. Many other places they don't have this benefit. They drove, come all the way to Delhi, they look for a place to stay, and then they have to worry whether or not get to the airport on time. Whereas Delhi people know it has both benefits, demerits, and so forth. And some places they are so beautiful, so clean, And some places like Ladakh, Tibet, where the medicinal herbs grow in greater abundance. You breathe oxygen.
Okay. In fact, all these things, anything that we experience, be it sadness or beauty or happiness, even the breeze in Delhi.
Once in a while, maybe in August or September, sometimes, once in a while you feel the breeze. Even that cool, the cool sensation. That's also because of the karma. In other words, all what we experience, they are all because of the karma. So I started my talk by saying that let us not take for granted. Let us not follow blindly. You getting it? So we should be ready to ask all these questions. Some of the questions are very complicated. Very complicated questions are there. And yet the preamble is that anything that we experience, happiness, sadness, the degree of knowledge of physics, knowledge of language, knowledge of the arts, appreciation of the aesthetics, or some people have the computational skills. All this is all the results of the karma. And the karmic operation is so complicated, extremely complicated. Believe it or not, I'm sure some of you, I don't know about the youngsters, younger ones, but then for sure my age and those in your 40s will be remembering that. I think about like 6-7 years ago, Peshawar, school shooting, you remember that? Tapala, you remember that? Where? In Pakistan, shooting happened. In the newspaper, what is said? Shooting happened, and then over 100, like 150 something children killed. And there was one child, maybe age 4 or 5. It was her first day to school. First day to school, she died. There was another boy, class 9, another boy, and who overslept that day. Whoever overslept, he could not go to school. He was saved. He overslept. This was very unusual. In the newspaper, it came out. Very unusual that this child can possibly oversleep, and he overslept that day. And then the next day, he went there. He was to do the funeral work of his friends. So there we can see that the efficacy of the law of karma, right? So with this, the world in which we live, the kind of experiences we go through, they're all the results of the karma. And how you take this, that determines how peaceful you are, how stable you are. Many people, for example, say the Indians, likewise, say where the concept of karma is so prevalent. There, when we are stricken with the tragedies, severe tragedies, you are not affected so much as others, because either you say that this is my own karma, it is a ripening of my own karma. Whereas, and some would say that, oh, this is the God So it must be, there must be a reason that I have to go through this problem. Is the God's will? And then they say those people who do not have the concept, who do not believe in the concept of karma, or who do not have a concept of the created God, for them this is a big, big challenge. When a tragedy hits you, then you become like crazy, you become paranoid. There's a problem, you cannot really tackle such problems. Whereas many of those people who accept karma, for them this is not a big deal. But it is not always the case. Some people, because the tragedy is so acutely painful, that you start to blame the karmas, saying that I did not do anything bad. What kind of karma? What the cosmic karma is wrong. This is the unacceptable, and so forth. Okay, all these things happen because of the misconception of the law of karma. So, because of which, when we speak about karma, it's so important. Of course, you have so many. I opened up with a big question or a statement which can encounter lots, which can attract lots of questions. That everything that you experience is a result of your own karma. I said I opened my talk with this statement. Okay, so for that matter, it's so important for us to know the concept of karma so well. And the concept of karma, as Professor Renukaji rightly indicated, is extremely complex. Yet, we need to know the basic, the framework of the karmic operation. For that, the Buddha taught two basic principles associated with the law of karma. Two basic principles. One is that one will not experience the result of the karma, one will not experience the result, whose causal karma, which you did not do. Let me say this again. You will not experience the result of the karma, result, whose causal karma, the karma which is responsible for this result, this karma which you did not do, you will never experience that result. You're getting it? Okay, let me put it again. You will not experience the result of a causal karma which you did not do, number one. Number two, that karma which is accumulated by the individual, there's no escape from having to experience the result. Karma which one is accumulated, there's no escape from having to experience the result of that karma. These are the two basic preambles of the karmic concept. You're getting it? In other words, the point is that if you have not accumulated a particular karma, then consequence, you don't have to worry. Consequence, say negative karma, you will not have to go through the experience of the painful results. And positive karma, you will, if you have not accumulated that, you will not get the opportunity to experience that happiness as a result of their karma. Whereas once you have accumulated the karma that you have accumulated, there's no escape. There's no escape, or you are bound to experience the result. Okay, these are the two basic premises related to the law of karma.
Now, so because of these are two basic premises, what we keep in mind that I must deal with some of the basic questions. The basic questions like, say then, if the karma that is accumulated, if there's no escape from having experienced the results, then what about the purification? Purification of the negative karmas. And the virtuous karma, so what? Some other factors can destroy that virtue, virtuous karma, and then that will not experience the results. So what about those karmas? Okay. So these are basic premises. Now the additional clause is that the karma which you have accumulated, which you have accumulated, and not been through the power of nullifying that. Not being through power of nullifying that, your path experience will resolve. You getting it? So in other words, if you don't engage in purification process, if you don't engage in damaging your virtues and so forth, then these karmas will inevitably reap the result on the individual. Okay, so therefore, let's say this boy who overslept, and otherwise he used to be very punctual. He overslept, and then the next day he realized that he went to school, and then all the people were busy with the further work, and he realized that his friends were all dead, right? Overslept. Why overslept that day? So because he did not have that karma to experience the death that day, some other factors play in, and then he was rescued. And whereas this young child, maybe age 4, kindergarten child, the first day of her school, the first day, she went there, she died. So this is how the karma operates. Okay, now with this, we need to know how these karmas are accumulated, and what are the consequences. How can we manage the karmas? Karmas is not always negative karmas. There are positive karmas also. Positive karmas, negative karmas. Okay. Let me go into detail later on, not now. Now, how the karmas operate? For that matter, what is karma? What is karma? This question. So karma in English is just action. But sometimes this is where when people fail to understand the concept of karma well, then they abuse the concept of karma very easily. Some of the smart children. The exams, and they don't study the exams, they prepare for the exams. They go to the pubs. They go to this gadget all the time. And the mother said, "No, my son, your exams are coming. Oh, please study. Hey, daughter, please don't do that thing. Study. Yeah, sure. Then both mother is, I'm gadget. What is PUBG? Huh? PUBG? Yeah. There. And then what happens? You fail the exam. Then the mother comes and says, "Look, this is what I told you before. Look, you did not study, this is what I told you before." What's your response? "Mom, it's my karma what to do. Karma to fail. You also believe in karma, right?" And my mother doesn't really answer. Because my mother also doesn't know the concept of karma so well. Mother says, "Oh, it's karma, it's karma, right? So what do you do? Right? I think because of that. Okay, so this is where, when one fails to understand the concept of karma well, then you abuse the concept of karma. And then when one wants for somebody who's intelligent, somebody else abuses the concept of karma, the intelligent people will become fed up with the concept of karma. They will reject the concept of karma. That which is so dangerous. In fact, rejecting the concept of karma, by no means it is helpful to the individuals, it's helpful to the community. It's so harmful on both sides. Okay, in this connection, what I want to share with you is that this year, in many hours in Israel, and I was with my friends one husband who is a scientist, physicist, and a wife working, her own work, and then being a part of the Buddhist center. And the husband will know that he's very bright physicist. He must be late 60s or early 70s, late 60s, I think. He's very bright, exceptionally bright. And the wife was insisting that I stay with her. So last year, somehow they talked about. So this year, somehow I pushed myself to be with them for 2 days. And the day one evening, we were together, and the husband was very bright. And then on the dining table, the wife was asking me about, it was my first day. The wife was asking me about, say, the rebirth and so forth, rebirth concepts. How can we explain the concept of rebirth? And I said, okay, I'm tired. I was tired from traveling. I said, I was very tired. Okay, this is once I'm in this topic, then I'm fully there. I do that energy, so please don't bring this up. So I didn't know why she was bringing this topic up there. She was deliberately bringing this topic up. Do you know, can you guess why? Because she could not convince her husband of the rebirth. Right? And then he thought the non-teacher again. Right? Okay. Husband is very bright. And then she said, then she was very direct, it was only 2 nights. She said, he's the one who doesn't believe in rebirth. And she wanted to do her husband. Okay. And I looked at him. And he was looking at me. So 2 of us discussed, it had to go deep. Right? And I'm already very tired. So I couldn't say I'm tired, because this was the reason why she called me here to stay with them. And then we started the discussion. I started, I can escape. Okay. And he was looking, staring at me like this, and I was staring at him like this. Okay. So they have to start the discussion. Okay. So why I'm saying, sharing all these things is related to these concepts sound sophisticated, yet so important. So important. If we don't reflect on these concepts, we don't know where where we are heading towards. We may be heading towards a very dangerous cliff, precipice. Then I start by saying that, you are a physicist. In the first place, you are a human being. Number 2, not only human being, you are a physicist. Human being means, human beings, the one thing which is so unique about a human being. Okay, let's all, each one of us, including myself, each one of us, let us see in what way I'm different from a dog. Each one of us, let us think, in what way I'm different from a dog. Okay, this is so important question. Of course we are very different. No, not in that sense. The more sophisticated thought process. A gentleman came to Tibet House in the office, I think about like 6 years ago. A young gentleman, Tibetan gentleman, and he said that, Geshe, I've been working in a company for the last 2 years. Now I realize there's no difference between me and a dog. I said, oh, why there's no difference? Because early morning I get up, morning I get up, oh, it's already 8 o'clock, I have to rush to the job, right? I have to rush to my work. So I'm hurrying. That dog also, around like 6, 7, the dog wakes up earlier. 6, 7, he's also busy, he will also walk. Walk for what? You for what? To
go to a place to work so that you will get something to eat, salary. Salary, in other words, a bread, right? And the dog also gets a bread. And then in the evening, the 5:30, now it's already 5:30, time up, you pack up, and then you go to your house. Dog also comes back. Dog also comes back. After roaming around, getting some food, dog also comes back. And then you also feel tired, the dog also feels tired. You feel tired, and then for you have extra thing to do, that is to watch the television. And the dog doesn't have to watch the television, he can rest well. He sleeps. Again the next morning, again it's already 8 o'clock, the dog also gets up. Same, what's the difference? Why human beings different from a dog? Humans have the power of thinking. Are you using this power of thinking? What have you been doing? Is just for the belly or more than the belly? This is the question. This is a very serious question, not only posed by this gentleman, but to you and to me. This is a very important question. What I'm doing, is it just for my belly or more than the belly? More than for the belly. If it is just for the belly, it's just for the salary, just to live, then there's no difference between a dog and a human being. There's no difference. And then I told him, the scientist, that you're a human being with a brilliant thought, thinking power. And you, being a physicist, amongst human beings who have a brilliant thinking power, which the dogs don't have, and among them, you are the one who's so rare, whose thinking power is even more than others. So this thinking power, if you don't use this is a great shame. So how to use this? You have to use it in such a way that you have to use it to think on those concepts which the dogs cannot think. Like whether or not there's rebirth. Dogs can never think about it. Even if you teach that yes, there is rebirth, I will prove that dog will say just what you're doing, what he's saying. Right? If you say this with love, the dog will feel the joy. Okay, my friend or the master is happy, so therefore the dog will wag the tail. If you say it really loudly, the dog is a little scared, will run away. Right? Human beings can think. These are the areas which the dogs cannot think and human beings can think. And you, the physicists, can think about it. And then, if there's no purpose, why should you have to think about it? If there's no purpose. This is a very serious question. Whether or not there's a purpose to think about the reincarnation, the rebirth. So, say, rebirth, law of karma, these concepts, law of karma grounded on the rebirth. These concepts, if they do exist, if the rebirth concept and the karma do exist, these two concepts do exist as a reality, then not thinking about it and then behaving in such a way that you simply disregard the efficacy of the law of karma, the rebirth, then you are not preparing yourself for the future. We become like small child. Okay, those who are the parents who have your small children, how difficult it is for you to send the children to school. Children, age 5, 6, 7, they'll always say, Mom, today I will not go to school, it's a little cold, I want to play, it's a little hot, it's a little cold. The other children, they bully me, the children, they don't want to go to school. Right? So the parents, if you give a choice to the child, you want to go to school or you want to go play on the playground, what are you going to do? What was the answer when you were 6 years old, 7 years old? Play, not go to school. You're getting it? Okay. Whereas the parents somehow will persuade you to go to school. Why? Parents can see beyond what you're seeing. Parents can see you after 10 years. You cannot see, you only see today. You don't see tomorrow. So therefore, if you don't think, so it is like if you don't think about the law of karma and the rebirth, if they do exist, it is like we having become like small children. Only seeing today, not seeing tomorrow. And if tomorrow does exist, you will be in trouble. So wise people will be able to see beyond, It's not necessary you have to believe in this. The point is analyze whether or not such a thing exists. Rebirth, law of karma exists. This is what we should do. And if you, through your own wise analysis, if you come to realize that such a rebirth is not there, law of karma is not efficacious, fine, you can discard it. Perfect, you become so confident. But if it does exist, through your analysis, you come to realize that it is something efficacious, then to disregard it, behave in such a way not to prepare for tomorrow. It's a very scary journey. It's very scary. So this is what I taught him. So with this in mind, the law of karma, how does it operate, this question? So karma, in the first place, what is karma? Karma, in English, it is action. Karma means action, right? So with the label, sometimes we give a label and make it so heavy loaded, and then you lose meaning. It's very simple. It simply means action. What kind of action? Body action, speech action that you conduct, that you perform physically, verbally, and mentally. That's it. As simple as that. Okay. How many of you in your life, once you have banged the table? Raise hands. Bang the table, saying that, how dare? Okay. How many of you once in your life caress your younger brother? Don't worry. Huh? Younger brother, younger sister, or your parents, don't worry. Hug the parents. At least once in your life. How many of you did it? Very good. This is physical action. You're getting it? And how many of you abuse your mother? Right? Physically, verbally. Raise hands to be very honest. Shouted to your mother. The mother said, "Beta, beti, chai pio, chai pio." Raise hands. Raise hands. Okay. This is verbal negative karma. Verbal action. It's action. Negative karma. You're getting it? And how many of you, mother says that, then, oh, my child, you like to have a cup of tea. Mom, please sit. I'll serve. Tell me, what do you want? I'll serve you. How many of you said it once? At least once. Very good. Say it more. Say it more. Right? That is positive karma. Positive verbal karma. Very good. And then mentally, somebody says, what a stupid person you are. And then mentally, right, you are stupid. Right? Okay, how many of you, this thought came to you? At least once. That's not very often, right? Okay, so that is negative karma. Negative karma. And then a small child says, what a stupid thing. Then you, instead of let's say you become angry, you feel it's so amusing, right? A young child, age 3, 4, saying that I'm stupid, right? It's so funny, it's so interesting. How many felt it? And instead of beating the child or scolding the child, you give a chocolate. Right? You did it. This positive thought is coming. This positive thought. This is the virtuous karma. So karma is action. Action of physical, verbal, and mental. This is the karma. You getting it? Okay. Then next point is how the karmas arise. How the karma is created. How the karma is created. So how the karma is created? For that matter, what we need to know is this is very important, extremely important. How the karma is created. First, I think this would be good. Karma is of two kinds. Karma is of two kinds. Classification. Then how it is created. Accumulated karma, and done, karma done. Karma which is done and which is accumulated. Two kinds. Karmas can be classified into these two. Some karmas are accumulated, not done. Some karmas are done, not accumulated. Some karmas are done as well as accumulated. Some karmas are not done, not accumulated. You getting it? Okay, so the karma is of the four classes. This is very important for us to know. For example, let's say that be it a virtuous karma or negative karma. So let's say negative karma. Say as a young child, elder child forced you, threatened you, forced you to steal something from your mother. And then you steal. How many do that? How many did that in your school days? No? Once when I was young, I must be age 6, there was the elder boy, two elder boys, very bossy. Elder boys, they must be age, I think like 8, 9, no, maybe like 10. What they did was that my sister, who herself must be like 10, and in school, and she was knitting the gloves, and then somehow they just grab at it, and then they just damage it, and then they want to blame it on me. So what they did, they brought me and said, Dorji, touch this and see what it is like. So I picked it up and said that you damaged it. Right? So my sister were looking at me and okay, she could not say anything because it's her young brother. Okay, so this act, I did it, but I did not accumulate. I did not accumulate that act because it was done under the force of somebody. You're getting it? So likewise, act of killing, act of stealing, any non-virtuous act, any negative action, any negative karma that you engage in, if you do it not through your intention, not through your, say, deliberate intention, rather by the force of somebody else, under the, say, the dictate of somebody else and so forth. So that becomes an action which you did, but not accumulated. So what's the difference? Did means basically you did it actually, but you will not experience the result fully. You will not experience the result fully. Likewise, virtue. For example, okay, morning I come to say the offer water, the generosity, and go to give blankets and so forth. If that is doing out of my own choice, my own will, that is the karma done as well as karma accumulated. Whereas if my mother forced me, like, Dorji, do it, this virtue, you have to do virtue, you have to do seva, right? You have to do it, go to blanket. Oh no, it's so cold, I don't want to get out of my bed. No, you have to do it. Then I'm scared of my mother or my father. Then I'll go to collect the blankets, go to distribute it. Reluctantly, I'm doing the karma of benefiting others, but I'm not accumulating the karma. It's not accumulated because it is not done with my own choice. It is done under the force of somebody. So virtue, non-virtue, whatever, if you do it, you do that, but through the force of somebody, not through your will, and that is a karma done, not accumulated. And whereas, say, what's your name? Uttam. Okay. Whereas I ask Uttam, okay, Uttam, I'm going to steal something from, okay, let's say, okay, steal something from Venerable Kabirji. Right? Okay, so then I didn't go to steal. Right? Uttam went to steal it. So Uttam did the act of stealing and he did not accumulate it. he does not accumulate it because he does not like to do it, but it's through my force. I did not do it, but I accumulated negative karma. I did not do it, but I accumulated the negative karma of stealing. You're getting it? So action which is not done, but accumulated. Then if I voluntarily go there myself, do it myself, I did it as well as it is done as well as accumulated. And whereas I remain passive, no, I'm not interested. I'm not interested. Udam, don't do it. And the Udam says, no, I will do it, right? When Kabiji has iPhone 11, I want to go to steal it, right? He voluntarily goes there. Then I did not do it, and I've not accumulated this. You're getting it? Okay. So from this point of view, when the virtues, when you engage in doing virtues, the message is that do with joy. Do with joy. Somebody may have instigated you to do the virtue, but then, wow, I'm so happy that you instigated me to do that, right? Yes, I will do it with joy. That accumulation of this virtue will be enormous, is done as well as accumulated. You're getting it? And whereas you reluctantly do it, you have to do it. In any you have to do it, but the benefit is not there. You have done it, but it's not accumulated. You're getting it? Likewise for the negative karmas. Okay. Now how is... Okay, by the way, tell me how much time I have. It's 7:17 now.
8 o'clock.
Okay. 40 minutes. Okay. 8 o'clock. Till 8 o'clock, including question answers.
No, till 8 the session.
Including question answers. Okay, good. Okay, now this is very important. How the karmas are accumulated, virtues or non-virtues, and effect of the virtuous karma is happiness. Effect of non-virtuous karma is miseries, pains. Let us not forget this. We're getting it? Effect of the virtuous karma, we will not be spared from the effects of the karma which we have accumulated, not necessarily done, but accumulated and not purified or not damaged. We have to go through the experience of the result. You're getting it? Let's not forget this. Having said this, if this is the reality, my question to you, which karma would you be? Don't just say for the sake of having to say this. Don't just answer for the sake of having to answer it. Give the answer, what comes to your mind. You're getting it? Okay, this is my question. My question is, if what I said is correct, that negative karmas will give rise to only suffering, pains, manifest pains. Technically, so the people who study the Buddhist psychology, you will learn about the suffering. It's a manifest suffering, manifest pains. So negative karmas, effects will be only manifest pains. Virtuous karmas, effects only happiness. Okay, if this is a reality, my question to you, which of the two karmas would you like to accumulate then? Virtuous or non-virtuous? Virtuous. Okay, very good. Very good. For that matter, how? For example, don't be angry, you never ever generate anger. Right? Because anger, alongside anger, the karma is a negative karma. Don't do that. Okay, how many of you don't want to do that? Anger. Knowing that anger, the accompanying karma is negative karma, will give rise to pain in you. How many want to do anger now? How many want to generate anger now? Nobody. Very good. Okay, now you go out. You go out, and then somebody has your shoes lost. Your shoes lost. And a very worn out chappal is left there. Right? Then okay, right, and then soon after this you are going to attend a birthday party. right? Birthday party or marriage ceremony, and then with this chapel, you cannot come. Then, if this situation, then what happens? Anger arises. Okay, you don't want to generate anger, but inevitably the anger arises under this situation. You're getting it? Okay. On the other hand, your beautiful what company sandals?
Bags, purses.
Bata.
Not Bata. Yeah, good answer there. Yeah. Okay, let's say something which you meant for you to go to the party after this, right? The birthday party or whatever, and then this one chapel is there, right? Then, wow. In fact, I don't really want to go to the party. It's so many complicated people are there. And then now with this chapel, I can go. So I'm so lucky that now I got an excuse, right? So whosoever took my shoes, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful to that person that I don't even now. If somebody tells me that why didn't you come to the party? Look at my chapel. I lost my shoes on the way, so I cannot come with this one chapel. So I'm very sorry, right? The person will feel sorry to you, right? And you feel so happy that I'm able to skip this party. I skip many of the parties.
You lose your chappals?
One time, it was a conference, and then the conference organizers, they hosted like a party. Party meaning like a dinner, a grand dinner in a 5-star hotel. So all the participants would go there. I said, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there. I know what this is like. I'm not going to go there. So 5-star hotel, everybody is still excited. And I said, I'm not going to go there. And my roommate, who was many years more senior to me, most likely like minimum 16, 17, if not 20 years senior to me. Older and senior and more experience. He went. And I said, I'm not going to go. I didn't go. 11 p.m. at night, then he came and he started to curse up that dinner. Curse. Oh, this time, 3 hours wasted. I'm tired. He was cursing. I said, who told you to go there? You have more experience than me. Why did you go in the first place? You should be knowing all these things. So therefore, I skipped these parties or the dinners and so forth. Okay, what I'm saying is that the same action, the same situation can give rise to happiness to some people, can give rise to misery to others, right? So why the same situation gives rise to happiness to some and gives rise to misery to others? Why? It's the same object, the situation. Why? This is where we have to learn how the karma is created. Okay, for that matter, we need to learn what is known as the 5 mental functions. 5 mental functions, which is technically referred to as the 5 omnipresent mental factors or 5 ever-present mental factors. Number 1, contact. I'll explain each one of them. Each one of these, don't worry. Contact. Number 2, attention. Number 3, discrimination. Number 4, feeling. Number 5, intention. Let me repeat. Number 1, contact. Number 2, attention. Number 3, discrimination. Number 4, feeling. Number 5, intention. Very good. Okay, the 5 points to keep in mind. How our mind functions. Our mind is very complicated. Our mind has so many functions. How many functions are there? The mind. Some minds are very good in mathematical calculation. Some minds are very good in creativity. Some minds are very good in aesthetics. Some minds are very good in language. Some minds are very good in shopping. Right? And some minds are very good in seeing negativities, being very negative, judgmental. Right? Somebody does something bad, it's so bad. The same person does something good, it's diplomatic. Right? Do something bad, it's terribly bad. Do something good, it's diplomatic. What do you do? Should you do or not do anything? If you don't do, you are very passive. Do is diplomatic. This is how people are so judgmental. You're getting it? So some people are so good at being very judgmental. This mind's how the mind operates. How many such functions are there? Some people, they're so good in sitting meditation. Like 2 hours, still very fresh. Some people, they're so good in right away dozing off in a few seconds like this. Right? So it's again mental function. Mental function. You're getting it? Okay. So how many such mental functions are there? Infinite mental functions are there. Infinite. Of these infinite mental functions, these 5 play a very important role for us to know how the karma is created. And then on that basis, you can manage your karmas. You can manage your karmas to make sure that these negative karmas do not happen, and the positive karmas, you become so rich with the positive karmas. This is what we should be doing. Okay, with this in mind, the number 1 is contact. Okay, so what happens? Look, it is a mind. Is a mind. Is a mind. Okay, don't ask me why when you say mind, you are touching this, not touching here. Right? Some people where I said mind, which I say mind is in your head, not in the here. And sometimes I say mind. Okay, this is good. Okay, you can ask question later on. Where's mind? For the time, let's say it is finally the mind which decides. You're happy, not happy, to do, not do. Your mind decides. How the mind decides? On the basis of these 5 points. This is so important. This is a beauty. This is a strength of the Buddhist psychology. Okay, let's say that you're fast asleep, and then at 6 o'clock your mother comes, okay, with like a little small package, a little bigger than this, bigger than this package. Mother comes with a package like this, and then you're fast asleep, and then your mother shakes you, and then you wake up. You partially sleep. So what happens is that your mind comes in contact with what the mother is holding in her hand. Your mind is coming in contact, but because then your mind is partially asleep, it is hazy. You agree with me? It is hazy. Your eyes are a little hazy. Your eyes are like the medium through which your mind is trying to contact with what the mother is holding. So your eyes are a little hazy. So your mind through the eyes comes in contact with the object. Number 1, contact with the object. Because it is hazy, what will you do? What will you do?
Ignore.
You ignore, again go to bed? Or, this is something which my mother doesn't do usually, bringing a package. In the morning, she doesn't do that. What will you do?
Pay attention.
Pay attention, right? You rub your eyes to see what is that. You pay attention. Number 2, pay attention. Paying attention, what do you realize? That this is the mother says, well, Mom, what is this? This is a birthday gift. What a small thing, right? Birthday gift is a small package. Then what happens? Small package means discrimination, that what is in the mother's hand, the gift is a very small gift. The discrimination, number 1, contact, number 2, attention. By paying attention, then you get the cognitive realization, cognitive awareness that the package is a small gift, very small gift, insignificant gift. You're getting it? This discrimination. insignificant gift or a significant gift, which gives you happiness? Significant gift. What is next? Feeling. You're getting it? Well, it's a mother comes with a big cartoon like this, birthday gift. You're very happy, right? Significant gift. Then the pleasant feeling comes to you. Cognitively, you see it as a very significant gift. Then what's the next feeling? What feeling arises? Pleasant feeling arises. Happy feeling arises. When the happy feeling arises, what is your reaction? You'll push it or you'll embrace it? You'll embrace it. Intention to embrace it. Next is intention. Then the action happens. Movement happens. Movement, your body, your hands move towards the gift. Move. Move is action. Action is karma. You're getting it? This is a physical karma. Okay. And then it's a small what? Mom, you should bring with a big package to tell you what happened. A small package. Cognitively, you see it as a small, insignificant gift. What's the feeling? Unpleasant feeling. And that is not from my neighbor, from my mother. Neighbor, small gift is fine. My mother, no. It should be a big gift. Right? So then what's the feeling? Very unpleasant feeling. Unpleasant feeling comes, then what happens? You throw the gift. You throw the gift. You're getting it? So what you do is that you push the gift. Is that action or not?
Yes.
That is the negative action. One is embrace, positive action. One is push, negative action. You get it? Then what happens? The gift falls and iPhone 11 comes out. From that package, it falls, you throw it and it fall out. They fall out and the iPhone 11 comes out. Wow! iPhone 11. Okay, how many of you have seen the iPhone 11? Huh? Not yet. Okay, the Kabirji is not so interested. Okay, no, Kabirji, you are
Not familiar with that.
No. You're not in your 20s. Yeah. Okay, so then iPhone 11 comes out, right? Wow, thank you, Mom. What happens? iPhone 11, cognitively, your cognitive thought process change. From a small gift to iPhone 11. Cognitive thought process change, feeling changes. Earlier unpleasant feeling, it changes to a very pleasant feeling. There was competition going to school. iPhone 6, iPhone 6 Plus, iPhone 8, iPhone X, there's competition going. Now you're getting iPhone 11. You're getting it? Nobody has iPhone 11 in school. Right? Then the feeling changes. What feeling? I'm from unpleasant to the pleasant feeling. With the pleasant feeling, what happens? You will go to get it. You're getting it? So, finally say this act of embracing the gift or rejecting the gift is determined by, so this act of rejecting and accepting the gift is the intention. So intention to reject it, intention to embrace it. You're getting it? That is the action. Karma is the intention of the mind, which drives us to physically embrace or physically reject. Physical rejection and physical embracing, this is physical karma. Verbal rejection and verbal acceptance, this is verbal karma. Then the mental acceptance and mental rejection. Some children, so you give a chocolate, the child likes the chocolate, but pretends as though it does not like it. Deep inside, this liking coming. Do you do that when you were younger?
Drama.
Yeah, drama. Did you do that when you were younger? Okay. So the mentally you already embrace it. Physically you pretend as though like you're not embracing it. Okay, so mentally you already embrace it. Mentally embracing it, and then sometimes as you grow older, then somebody gives you a gift. It is a very insignificant gift, and although you don't like it, you pretend so you like it. And thank you. And mentally you say no. Right? Outwardly you say thank you. Right? As a small child, you like it, still you pretend so you don't like it. right? Okay, so what I'm saying is that these physical, verbal, mental intentions which drive you to act physically, verbally, mentally, this is a karma. So that intention is driven by what? Decided by feelings. You accept if the feeling is pleasant, good. You're getting it? You reject it if the feeling is unpleasant. You're getting it? So feeling decides what actions. What decides the feeling? Cognitive thought process. Cognitive thought process. So your cognitive thought process decides your feelings. You're going to, okay, let's say, okay, this is a very powerful, you must have, some of you must have heard this story already. So look, how the actions are determined by the feelings, and how the feelings are determined by the cognitive thought process, which is discrimination. You're getting it? So therefore, discrimination, to sharpen the discrimination, to make the discrimination rich and sharpen it, plays a very important role. If you want to have the pleasant feeling, and therefore you accumulate virtuous karmas all the time. So the cognitive thought process plays a very important role. It's for this reason that the Buddha emphasizes so much on the studies and reflection to enrich, to deepen your knowledge and to expand your knowledge, to make your knowledge vast and deep in space and in time. This is so important. Okay, I'll share a story. This story carries such a message there. Say, once a king. The king is always attended by his medical doctor. And one time, the king started to have some kind of pimple on one of his fingers. And the doctor was treating this, physician was treating this, and then the pimple, it became worse. And then the doctor was a little scared that now this may spread all over the body, it may kill the doctor. So the doctor said that, King, Your Highness, there's no option other than to amputate this finger. If you don't amputate this finger, then you'll lose your life. Choose between your two. And the doctor said, okay, if there's only choice, what I do, then I don't want to die. So the finger was amputated. And seeing that the finger was lost, the doctor the king was so upset, angry, and the king ordered the other ministers to imprison this doctor. So the doctor was behind bars. And the king, as usual, went for hunting. And then in the forest, there were the outlaws. What outlaws? What outlaws? Criminals, dacoits, who do not have to follow the laws of the country, of the kingdom. Then they saw the king there. They did not know. Who cares, king? So they arrested him. And then they were to perform a sacrifice, human sacrifice of the king. They were about to sacrifice the king, and then the head of this group, the dacoits, they said, no, don't do it. This useless person. Why? Because to sacrifice, you have to sacrifice somebody with everything intact. And this useless person, this person, the one thing is missing, right? It's of no benefit. Just release. It's just dump him. So he was dumped. And the king was so happy. I'm so happy that I lost my finger. This saved my life today. I'm so happy. As soon as he reached there to his palace, he ordered the ministers, quickly release this doctor. I want to see him. I want to reward him with gifts. The doctor was released. And the doctor was so scared. Now the king must be ready to kill me. Instead, the king was expressing so much gratitude to the doctor. And he thanked him. Thank you for amputating my finger. And the doctor said, why are you thanking me? Right? I'm sorry for imprisoning you. Why are you thanking me? And the king said, because I didn't have the finger, I saved my life. These people, they didn't kill me. Otherwise, the outlaws, they were about to kill me. Then the doctor thanked the king. Thank you so much for putting me behind bars. Because you put me behind bars, I was not with you. If I was with you, they would kill me. Of all my 10 fingers. So I'm so thankful to you for putting me behind bars. So thank you so much. Okay, so then, whether this is real story or not doesn't matter. So from this, what I see is that in both cases, the king, at the latest part of the story, the king, what happened? King seeing the doctor, he had a sense of gratitude. That feeling of gratitude, giving gifts, these are positive karmas. These positive karmas, because the intentions, I want to embrace this person. Why this intention, embracing this person came to him? Because of the very pleasant feeling coming to him. Why pleasant feeling? Because this pleasant feeling came to him because he rescued my life. Right? Because of him amputating my finger, my life is rescued. This cognitive thought process triggers very pleasant feeling. Earlier, he made me look so ugly. That's a cognitive thought process. What's the feeling? Unpleasant feeling. That made him to put him behind the bars. That's negative karma. But the same situation, how you look at it. You look at it, the person made me look so ugly. Then the unpleasant feeling arises. Then one will reject the person, put him behind the bars, negative karma. Oh, this person rescued my life because of removing this finger. So he rescued my life. I'm alive today. Because of him, I'm so grateful. Pleasant feeling comes. With the pleasant feeling, what happens? Pleasant feelings embrace the person with a sense of gratitude. That is a virtuous karma. With the same given situation, depending on how you see the reality. Rich, deep, profound, vast knowledge, that person has lots of ways of thinking to trigger the pleasant feelings. Whereas if your thing is very narrow, small, not the vast thinking, not deep thinking, then your thing is very narrow, then it can potentially trigger only the unpleasant feeling. You're getting it? Unpleasant feeling. With the unpleasant feeling, the tendency for you to do is engage in rejection. What is a rejection? Negative karma. You're getting it? This is so important. Okay, so this out. Now from this, what we realize is that our thinking, just see how to change our sense of discrimination. Discrimination has multiple meanings. It has also a negative connotation, which means gender discrimination, racial discrimination, caste discrimination, so forth. This is a negative connotation, but here it is neutral in meaning. Discrimination meaning the ability to distinguish things. So the sharper you have, sharper the sense of discrimination that you have, and the more vast your knowledge, your discrimination, sense of discrimination, the sharp sense of discrimination, you have a very rich discrimination. With this, you can just think of those, the thought processes, common thought processes, which trigger only pleasant feelings. With the pleasant feelings, you embrace. That is virtuous. Okay, now pleasant feeling towards the negativities is no virtue. Don't forget it. Pleasant feelings towards the virtue is virtue. Say, a child crying. Pleasant feeling comes. Wow, it's so pleasant. It's so pleasant to hear this child crying. It's so pleasant. There's no virtue. You're going to get a child smiling. Right? Why this child is smiling? What is this? Such a stupid boy. Right? Shut up. Right? This is negative karma. When the child smiles, wow, I'm so happy that this innocent child is smiling. This is happy. So then, this is a pleasant feeling towards towards a virtuous thing is virtue. Pleasant feeling towards a non-virtuous thing is non-virtuous. You're getting it? It's not that pleasant feeling always gives rise to virtuous. No. The point is, pleasant feelings, you have if your cognitive thought process is so rich, then automatically what happens is that you can think of, you can retrieve those the kind of thought processes pertaining to the virtues to retrieve positive feelings or pleasant feelings, and then you embrace the virtues. With the negative things, you trigger the unpleasant feelings to reject negativities. That is virtue. Rejecting negativity is virtue. Embracing negativity is non-virtue. Rejecting virtue is non-virtuous. Embracing virtue is virtuous. You get it? Okay, these nuances we have to know. From this, what we learn, the message is that finally, the happiness that we seek is due to the virtuous karmas. The pains which we shun are the result of the non-virtuous karmas. And these karmas, they are nothing but your intention to move physically, verbally, mentally. And these movements, these karmas, physical, verbal, mental karmas, they're happening because of the feelings. Feelings determine that. Feelings are determined by the cognitive thought process of discrimination. So, more vast learning that you have, for example, say your child, say you have a chocolate, your child, let's say your neighbor's child is a birthday of your neighbor's child. And then okay, I have to take some gifts. And you go to the shop, then you buy chocolate. And the neighbor's child, right? And you go there, and the child's mother, you meet the mother. Okay, I brought a chocolate for your child, dark chocolate. My child hates dark chocolate. Right? And then you're going to give or not give. Because you have no choice. You have only this gift. Not giving is so rude. And giving this doesn't make the other person, the child, happy. Because you have no choice. Whereas you have a choice. You have the milk bar, what is it, dairy milk chocolate? Dairy milk chocolate and also dark chocolate. Both of them are with you. My child hates dark chocolate. No, I have the other chocolate. Likewise, if you have rich thinking, if you have rich cognitive thought processes through extensive learning and reflection, then say that everything is in your hand to retrieve unpleasant feelings or pleasant feelings or whatever, everything is in your hand. You getting it? So then that decides that your accumulation of the karma, they're all virtuous karma, not the negative karmas. And these virtuous karma decide your fate, that you're always going to be happy. Okay, this is basically about how the karma is created. So we don't have much time. The remaining 11 minutes, we will go for question answers if you have questions.
It will mind why.
Okay, so the mind, in other words, instead of why here, instead of here, sometimes I do here, sometimes I hear, sometimes I hear. So the mind, where's the mind? This question. The mind, the same. If you ask me, where's my base? Also, my basis, Lakshmanagar. Or with my basis, Lodi Road. But if I'm in Lodi Road, I'm not in Lodi Road. Right? You getting it? Sometimes I'm in the Tushita, I'm in Lakshmanagar, I'm in Pune, I'm in Assam, I'm in different places. But my basis, Lodi Road. Likewise, the base of the mind is the heart chakra. Here. There is a base, but it's spread across the body. It's spread across the body, but the original base is the heart chakra. Yes. Next question.
Is there collective karma? Like, for example, for a group of people or even for countries?
Exactly. Collective karma is there. So karma, classification karma, there are so many varieties of classifications karma. If you're really interested in this, I would suggest you to read the first volume of Lama Tsongkhapa's book, The Great Treatise on the Stages of Path to Enlightenment. All these classifications are given there. And still, if you're not happy with it, you want to study more, you have to study Abhidhamma Kosh by Acharya Vasubandhu. Right? With these two books? Answer is yes. There are so many ways of classifying the karmas. One way of classifying the karma is individual karmas and the collective karmas. For example, say we're all feeling cozy. I'm feeling hot now. I'm feeling hot because I've been talking. I feel hot, and you feel cozy, nice because of the heat of other people. Right? It's not cold. It's not hot. It's very pleasant for you. I feel hot. Right? So this is the individual karma ripening. You getting it? Okay. Whereas all of you experiencing the same cozy, pleasant feeling is a collective karma. Collective karma. So you must have done something so good in your past life to feel this pleasant. Collectively, you must have done something good, and then I may have revolted against you in the earlier times, maybe one of the early past lives. I may have not really agreed with the good thing that you have collectively decided to do. So therefore now, while you experience this cozy, pleasant feeling, I feel the hot. So there are stories there. If you want to know the story, let me make it very quick. You want to know it now? You want to hear the story or not? Okay. The story is that at the time of the Buddha, there was a nun, and the nun was an incredibly great teacher. Very popular teacher. She had 500 nun disciples. She was giving teachings to the 500 nun disciples. Then some dacoits came. What kind of animosity, what kind of the hatred towards these nuns? I don't know. These dacoits, they just surrounded the whole campus and burned, put them to blaze. Then the teacher, the nun teacher, she declared to the nuns, okay, let us not harbor any feeling of animosity towards the perpetrator. It is the ripening of our collective karma. From there, what happened was that the one of the maids who was serving this community, she was able to escape through a ditch. The rest died in the fire, the blaze. One who was serving as a maid, helper, escaped through the ditch. And the matter was reported to Buddha. And the Buddha narrated the past collective karma. How? These were, once many lifetimes ago, they were the 500 burglars. These, they collectively, through consensus, they decided to kill somebody. So they collectively accumulated negative karma of killing that person. All these 500, one did not agree to this plan. One pulled back from this thought of killing that person. Who is that person?
Me.
The one who escaped. So this is how the collective karma operates and how the individual karma also operates. Very good question. Any more questions? Yes, over there.
At what stage does karma start accumulating? When you're discriminating already because you're thinking about what's good and what's bad?
Okay, very good question. Because this is 1.5 hours talk, right? Asking all the details. You're getting it? So the trailers, movie trailers, it does not have all the details. It only pick up the nice things, right? All the details will be skipped. So in actuality, these five functions, they don't operate separately. They operate collectively. They operate simultaneously. It's not sequence. They operate simultaneously. In other words, while the contact is happening, intention is happening. All this happens simultaneously, right? So it's not the stage. It's just which aspect. Aspect of the 5, intention. The aspect of the intention is the karma. Accumulation of karma is that the intention.
Geshe, how do dreams create or dissolve karma?
Okay, the dreams. This is a very interesting discussion here. The dreams. How do dreams create and dissolve karma? Okay, that generally speaking, the dreams, actions that you do in dreams, they fall under the category. Say the virtues that you do in the dream, non-virtues that you do in the dream. How many you fought in the dream? At least once in your life. In the dream, how many you fought? No? Okay, yes, once. Professor Ngozi? Yeah, in the dream. Okay, don't feel shy. Okay, so let's say fighting with, right? Okay, say doing virtues or non-virtues in the dream. In the dream, they generally speaking, they fall under the category of the karma done, not accumulated. Karma done, not accumulated. It falls under this category. Generally, because some people who are otherwise very gentle, very kind, right? The person even does not dare to say a harsh word to even a child. And this person can even have a dream of killing somebody. This has happened, right? So therefore, this is purely by the force of the dream, not through his or her will. So therefore, it falls under this category. Yet, if you are greatly trained in your meditation, then the dream karma can become not only done, not accumulated, it can become accumulated as well. So therefore, many great practitioners, what they do is that they train themselves so well that they not only they don't waste them, and they say the what do you call it, the practice during the daytime, waking state. They also make sure that the time, the sleeping time is also not wasted. Even in the dream they practice because of the training, right? Okay, good. So it happens more in the case of the say, okay, this is one part. The second part is say second. This is what I'm saying. Second part is that somebody who is involved with say the purification processes in the daytime, purification processes, then in the night time, you may, if the purification process went so well, 4 powers, with the 4 powers intact, if it went well, then the indications come in the dream. Dream, that is negative karmas, they are dissolved and they are purified, such as drinking milk in the dream, such as vomiting very dirty things out, and then you're feeling so fresh and so forth. Then eating food which are so healthy, color-wise so beautiful, and very clean, even seeing people with the, very, say, the youthful and so forth. Okay, so these are the indications that comes in a dream to indicate that your purification, negative karma, dissolved. Yeah, it does happen in dreams. Okay, yes.
Geshe, how to purify negative karma?
Okay, purification negative karma. We talked about the 4 powers of purification. 4 powers of purification, and the okay, we have 1 minute more. I'll just enumerate what the 4 are, and then I'm very happy we have Venerable Kabirji here, and of course Tibet House is there. And if you really want to study more, then there is Nalanda diploma course, which is already opened. Enrollment is already open. You're already there. Okay, so this is open there, and many people what they do is that say they first they do not. We are not to blame them. First, they are not aware that this is happening, and finally, enrollment already started. Then the class is already in the middle of the course. And then they come to know about it or inspired by somebody else, then enroll. It's so difficult for them, so difficult for us. Why difficult for us? Because if we accept there's no point. The person is going to suffer. The person may quit, seeing that it's very difficult. It's not difficult because the person was lacking the background. Whereas it's good, not good for the person also, because the person will say, "Oh, this is so complicated." So both ways is difficult. Yeah. Okay. So the 5. Number 1 is the power of the basis. Number 2 is the power of the regret. Number 3 is the power of the antidote. Number 4 is the power of not relapsing to the negativities. Number 1, the power of the basis. The basis means refuge in bodhicitta. Then the power of the regret, that is the negativities that which one did, you generate a strong regret over that possible. Then number 2 is the power to remedy. Any virtue that you do pertaining to meant to purify the negativities, they form the power of the remedy or the power of the antidote. And then one of the greatest part of the antidote is the wisdom of emptiness. Wisdom of emptiness. Wisdom of emptiness is so powerful that this is what really cleanses, just erases your negative karmas. Okay. Already accumulated. We're talking about already accumulated. Yes. And then finally, a power of not relapsing to the negativities. That, okay, henceforth I will not repeat this negativity again. I will not repeat this again. This make a very strong commitment not to relapse to the negativities. This is part of number 4. Okay. Any more questions? Any more questions? New hands? New hands? If not here, the last one.
Contact, attention and discrimination. So as you told, from discrimination, we need to have a broader way of thinking.
Broader and deeper.
Deeper. How to deepen our thinking.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you. The question is so good. So finally, this is the point. The whole purpose is for us is to take away something. We need something as a takeaway. Take away from this. Okay, if this is what is happening, then finally what we need to do is that we need to have the vast exposure of the reality and the deep exposure to the depth and the vastness in time and in space. How to do that? This question. For that, come to Tushita Center as much as possible and do the Nalanda diploma course. This is the best within the given situation. This is the best. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the Professor Renivaji, thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Veru Kabirji, thank you so much. And our Tejala there, thank you so much. Tejala, yes.
Thank you very much, Geshe. Please.
Okay,
Thank
please.
Geshe,
Please.
Thank you.
So tomorrow, short session on karma. So if you want to do some meditation, we'll have in the morning.
Your water must have become cold, Geshe. Shall we heat it up?
Lukewarm. It's very good.